Thank you.
All right, guys. Today we have Erin with us. She's with Homebot. We'll give everybody a few minutes to finish logging on. It's usually a few minutes into it that everybody shows up. So, Erin, how you doing? Where are you at physically today?
I am back in Carlsbad, California, so North San Diego County. Obviously, I was up in Monterey. That's where I saw you at Nora, and then I went out of the country for a couple weeks just for fun, and then I had to go to Miami for NAW Rep. So, yeah, a lot of travel.
That's good. You stay busy traveling the whole US, California, or how far do you cover?
Well, for my job, it's all in the United States. But I do love to go travel overseas. So I've had a number of different trips, mainly to Europe recently. I'm kind of wanting to expand and go somewhere else. I think we're going to go to Mexico City in the spring. Haven't been yet, but I've heard it's amazing foodie capital, lots of really cool things to see there. So I think this will be our next trip.
Yeah, me and my parents are heading to Mexico City this month on the 24th. We go for a week. We're gonna go visit the Virgin Mary cathedral thing. And then
Hmm.
there's some pyramids. So there's definitely a lot of culture to take in over there. Plus the food is amazing. Anywhere in Mexico, the food is just amazing. Not just because I'm
Yeah.
from I'm from there, but it's just amazing food.
Wow,
Yep.
I'm looking
Yep.
forward to it. I might have to pick your brain for a couple of ideas, but most of the time when I'm with HomeBot, we're a nationwide company. Obviously, I'm in California, where most of you are located. We're headquartered in Denver, so I spend a lot of time there, and then just traveling to events like the one in Miami.
That's cool. And it's actually it's neat that I've had people log in or sign up and register from other states
Love
into
it.
the home. I'm like, okay, well that's good that it's actually reaching people in different areas, not just in the California segment per se.
Yeah, one of the nice things I like about HomeBot is a homeowner can add a home in any state. So maybe you didn't know about that vacation property or that investment property they have in another state. And we all know here in California, I'm a licensed agent in San Diego, that we have a lot of people relocating. They're cashing out,
Mhm.
they've made money here, and they're looking at potentially relocating. And that's another way to use HomeBot in your business because if you got a homeowner here that's interested in moving to another state, you can absolutely set them up as a buyer to look at property in another state. In fact, we even have a nationwide property listing search that your agents can access, which means you can essentially set up a referral to an agent in Texas or Florida, wherever someone might want to move. And you can even show them listings there and gain that referral fee. So,
Well, that's awesome. Well, I'm sure there's gonna be a few more agents getting ready to log on here in a few minutes. We can get started with our presentation.
yep, sounds
Guys,
good.
so just to let you know, Aaron, we are recording this, and what we can do is we can send you a copy of it if you want to share it with anybody. It's going to be in the YouTube platforms for agents that are watching it or they want to watch it afterwards and kind of get a feel for what Homebot has to offer and how it works. I'm sure you're going to give us tons of nuggets on how we can really fine tune it because a lot of times we buy into certain programs and they're just sitting there idle without getting the best of everything. So it's important to have tools to keep a pulse on the market. And it's hard for an agent to reach out to clients on a daily, on a weekly, on a monthly. Hey, your home is doing this, the market's doing that, especially if you have more than 20 or 30 past clients or prospect clients for listings. There's no way to keep up with that. And I've been using HomeBot for I think it's been close to a year, and it's just amazing how it keeps all that information in front of them. If you're not using a product like this, you're missing out. Like Erin was saying, I met you, Erin, in Monterey at a Nora convention, and I thought, I need to have her on this class. One, for my information, so she can teach me to really fine tune what I'm doing and to help us other agents jump on board with something that's so inexpensive and so vital for us to grow our listing inventory and really stay in front of our clients. And Erin, can you show us everything that you can with what Homebot has to offer? And if we have questions, anything we can do that we can grow our business with using Homebot, please.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to go in between a deck that kind of goes through an overview of what Homebot is, how agents and brokers use it in their business. And then I'm actually going to demo the full report for you as well. But one thing that I want to do, let me just go ahead and share my screen real quick. You should be able to see my website now. I'm actually going to post this website in the chat, and then I can also email this link to you as well if you want me to. You can embed that with the recording from today if you're going to send it out to the different people that are attending the training. I do a general session 4 times a week for real estate agents. So if one of your agents missed today, they want to attend it live, they don't want to just listen to a recording, keep in mind there's always 4 opportunities each week. Just adjust for your time zone if you're not here in California, and register for one of these. It's a full overview of what Homebot does. Of course, that's what I'm going to cover with you today. We also
Okay.
have live training classes once you're on Homebot. So keep in mind, this is not going to be the tech tool that you pay for and you cannot figure out how to use. I get it. I've done the same thing in my own business. So these are really great classes you can take. Getting started is all about loading your clients into Homebot to maximize results, learning how to edit information in Homebot for a client and responding to their questions. The next class here, best practices, is going to entail a lot of lead generation strategies, home annual reviews, farming with Homebot. So that's another really great class to take once you're already on the product. These last two do require a lender to turn on the features, but video is a really great way to integrate in custom videos from you. When you're reaching out to your clients, those videos can be in Spanish or English, obviously. And then lastly, we do have a specific class just on using Homebot's home search. Keep in mind, both of these classes do require a lender to turn on those features, but that doesn't mean you can't take the class. If you're on this call today, and I'm going to show you everything Homebot does, and obviously you're getting some feedback on how it works as well. Keep in mind on my website, you can always sign up to get a free report from me. Honestly, the best way to understand Homebot is to get Homebot. So put in your own property address. If you don't own a home, you could put in a home that you're familiar with, your parents' property, one of your investment properties, or just a current listing that you have. And it's just a great way to understand what the product looks like. Obviously, my contact information is on here, tons of training links and some marketing templates that I'll be sharing with you. I posted it in the chat, but I'll also include it in an email in case anybody wants to attend future training with me. I want to start at the top and explain exactly what Homebot is and what we're not. Like I said, I'm going to show you the actual home report as well as the buyer's report, and then we're going to land on some great marketing strategies to increase your listing inventory. Because I travel all over the United States and I'm typically on stage talking about Homebot, these are the biggest problems I see in the industry right now. It doesn't matter where I'm training on real estate, these are the 4 biggest issues that most of us are complaining about right now. Number one is got to be inventory. Inventory has been low for the last 10 years, but between COVID, rates, and a lack of building, it's even worse. And this is a huge problem for us as well as our potential buyers and sellers. Competition is fierce and it's only getting worse with Chat GTP and AI, with the all cash iBuyer sites that are stealing our listings away. And let's not forget the big boys: Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia, Redfin. We have got to do a better job of protecting our clients and being the first person they reach out to when they have a question. Engagement and retention. What's the average open rate you're getting on an email? Did you know that our industry average is 21%? That means 79% of your clients aren't even looking at the email you're sending out, let alone opening it and reading it to keep you top of mind. And that honestly probably goes hand in hand with our extremely low retention in the real estate industry, less than 25%, which essentially means 75% of our clients have forgotten about us within 1 year of closing on that new home. And then lastly, again, technology is an issue for us. We are really good at face to face, and yet we are learning how to integrate our branding, our CRM, farming, lead generation, social media, chat GTP. And I think we've all probably been guilty about paying for something and then we can't figure out how to use it. I can't solve all your problems, but I hope by the end of this call today, you'll see how Homebot can be a solution to these top 4 problems that I see no matter where I'm traveling to. Let's talk about inventory. It's been low for 10 years historically, and yet it's gotten even worse in the last few years. And it's a huge problem for us realtors, but it is an even bigger problem for our clients. And yet, what is one of the hardest things for us to do? Figuring out who's ready to move and who's not. Homebot will absolutely create hand raisers for you. So my recommendation is to load everybody into Homebot, your past clients, your sphere of influence, which remember, that's your friends, your family, your neighbors, people that have never done a transaction with you, but they know you, like you, and trust you. And then start adding in your opted in prospects. If you're meeting people at open houses, if you're posting on social media, if you're farming, why not add them to Homebot as well, as long as they've opted in and given you their email address? Start creating hand raisers, people that literally reach out. And like this first person here, they tell you they're ready to sell. Well, that's a really good day for an agent right now. But you will also have people in your database that love Homebot, and they'll tell you that. But they'll also tell you, hey, by the way, we're never moving. We're going to live in this house forever. Well, great. That's okay, right? You still want to stay top of mind with them. They could change their mind. And most importantly of all, that homeowner knows 100 people in their own sphere of influence that they could introduce you to through HomeBot. The hardest groups for us agents are these 3. Who would sell for the right price?
People
Who
told me
told you
that
they're
if they
not
sell the
thinking
house, they're
about
going to call me.
selling? Bear with me 1 minute. I'm going to go ahead and mute a few people on here just because I'm getting some background noise. So bear with me 1 second here. All right, perfect. Sorry about that. It's just a little hard when I hear stuff going on in the background. So let me go back here for a minute. When you have a homeowner that told you they're not interested in selling, but they are literally poking around their home's market and HomeBot, they're creating selling signals and looking at listings. Reach out. Don't wait for them to reach out to you, right? And then lastly, who do you need to incubate? Because they're not ready to sell yet, but they will be. And the worst thing that could happen to you is they Google themselves out of your pipeline or walk into somebody else's open house and forget about you. My favorite way to use HomeBot is to load everybody in there. Remember, you only need name, property address, and email for your homeowners. They can get it in Spanish or English. And for buyers, if you are co-branded with a lender, just a name and an email. Load everybody in there and start creating hand raisers. And then play matchmaker, because you probably all have a handful of buyers looking for a home right now. Now you have potential sellers that you can place them with. The other issue is competition, and these companies have billions of dollars to spend on marketing in some cases. They are all after stealing our clients away, and so we have got to do a better job of positioning ourselves as the first person they reach out to when they have a question. And yet, it's hard to stay top of mind with everybody, right? We're busy. So here's my question for you. What if you could send something out automatically every month to every past client in your database, sphere of influence contact, and opted in prospect, and get an over 70% open rate every month to stay connected? Now start closing more transactions. And what if that solution was only $25 a month? That's where Homebot comes into play. And what you're looking at on your screen is an actual home report that would go out to your clients. But don't worry, I'm going to show you every section that will be most important to you as a realtor. Here's what makes us different. Remember, we're in an industry with a less than 21% open rate to an email. Homebot's open rate to our email, over 70%. But remember, opening an email and actually click into the report is not the same thing. So at least 50% of your clients on average will actually click into the report each month. And with over 11 million homeowners on Homebot, we have less than a 1% unsubscribe rate. But the good news is you don't have to take our word for it, because once you're on Homebot, you're going to track your own activity and engagement. And if you're smart, when you see a homeowner poking around their market and starting to look at listings, you're not going to wait for them to reach out. You're going to reach out to them. There are two ways to do real Homebot as a licensed real estate agent or broker. The first one is to do it on your own. And if you choose to do Homebot on your own, this is what an actual report will look like. Again, they can keep adding more homes, and each month they're going to get a personal financial updated report from you. To your client, whether this is in Spanish or English, it's like logging into their bank account or their 401k. It is only $25 a month up to 500 clients. And if you have a larger database, you can get extra blocks of 500 clients for an additional $10 per block of 500. There is a $50 setup fee to get you started on HomeBot. And then once a month, we're going to send each of the clients you add to HomeBot one personal financial updated report from you into their email inbox. There is no contract. Your data is safe and secure. And if you decide to bring a lender in, you can do that at any time you want. When you bring in a co-branded lender into HomeBot, all of our advanced features are going to open up for you. It is not required. You can do HomeBot on your own. But if you're curious why HomeBot is holding back some features, it is actually because we started out as a lender platform 8 years ago. There is a ton of financing opportunity built into HomeBot, as well as buying and selling. When agents saw the product, of course, we wanted access to it. We want to stay top of mind with our clients too, right? But we still believe the best experience for our homeowners and buyers is to be co-branded with the lender on the product. So when you do that, for the exact same price, these features are going to open up. Number one, my favorite, find a home at the top of every home report. I love that HomeBot is actually encouraging my existing homeowner to make a move. Essentially, HomeBot is converting homeowners into selling and buying again with you. You will have access to using HomeBot's nationwide listing search. I'll show you what it looks like. Or you can always tie HomeBot to your own IDX search. You will have access to your clients download and using our mobile app. So instead of just getting HomeBot by email, they will actually be able to download and use our app in Spanish or English. You'll be able to start adding in personal videos. I'll show you what those look like. You'll be able to start adding first-time buyers as well with just a name and an email. You'll have 2 extra landing pages, one for buyers and one for HomeBot search. And then lastly, we can waive that setup fee when you accept your lender's invitation to co-brand with them on HomeBot. Just ask them for the code. I love that when I have a lender on HomeBot, I don't have to answer financing related questions, but keep in mind, if you don't have one, check and see if they're on HomeBot. Most of the brokers and lenders in this country are already using HomeBot. They want to co-brand with you on it. We can even recommend lenders in your area. But in addition to converting homeowners into buyers, which essentially means you're going to sell with you, and adding those first-time buyers and access to our app, the other important feature I love on this is video. You will now be able to start embedding videos in HomeBot, Spanish or English, and there is no special equipment needed. All you need is a co-branded lender, and then we have all the scripting you need, and you can simply use your cell phone camera. Upload them into HomeBot for free using YouTube. This is a great way to personalize HomeBot, but it is a feature that only turns on when you're co-branded with the lender. Of course, now you can protect your buyers so that they're not wandering out of your pipeline and searching for a home on Zillow or any other site. Because there'll be 2 ways to protect your buyers. One, using your IDX listing search like you see here, and the second using HomeBot's nationwide listing search, which will actually allow us to embed listings in 2 other sections of your home reports. One under their market, where we'll show them listings that compare to where they live, and one under the purchase module, where we can show them listings, and then they can begin searching for a new home with you. Now, don't worry, I'm going to show you exactly what this looks like. Keep in mind, there is one big story behind HomeBot. At the age of retirement, and this is nationwide, 83% of retirement wealth actually comes out of home equity. We're not shocked by this because we're in the industry, right? We know this to be true. But I guarantee when you show the same statistic to your homeowners and renters, they'll be really shocked. See, they have all these coaching and training resources for the 17%, the stock, the 401k, the savings, but really nothing to help them track and build wealth through home ownership. That is why Homebot was created to protect your clients and position you as the first person they should reach out to when they have questions. That is actually why Homebot is pink and black. I know most of you would tell me, well, this doesn't match my corporate branding or even my own personal branding. But that's okay because it's designed to be different and get through their marketing filter. So, what are we? Let me start by telling you what Homebot is not. We are not a CRM. Homebot will not replace your contact management program because we only send two things out every month through Homebot. We'll send one personal financial updated home report to every homeowner you add. And once you're co-branded with the lender, we can start sending one personal financial buyer's report to every buyer you add. While we can't replace your CRM, in some cases we might be able to integrate it to make it easier to add clients. And we're also not trying to sell you leads because the only way that a homeowner or renter can get HomeBot from you is when you add them to HomeBot. What we really are is an entirely new category called the Client for Life portal. Every month, we're going to empower your homeowners and buyers to make better financial decisions, and we're going to take them throughout that life cycle of homeownership. It's only $25 a month with no contract. Your data is safe and secure. We're not going to share your information or any of your client information with anybody else. You cancel your account, we wipe your data clean. If you do co-brand with a lender, they're not going to see all your clients either. We're mobile friendly. We're in Spanish and English. And best of all, HomeBot can go to everybody. Past clients, your sphere of influence, which is your friends, your family, your neighbors, people that know you, like you, and trust you, but haven't done a transaction with you yet, as well as your opted-in prospects. I'm going to show you what the product looks like, but any feedback or things you want to add to that before I go into the actual deck or the report?
I have a couple of questions, Erin.
Yep.
One is the type of property. I know residential for sure,
Mhm.
but what is the other? If there is duplex, fourplex, is there where it kind of limits to?
Well, we don't do commercial property. We're really focused on 0 to 1, 1 to 4 units, which is
Yeah.
typical residential real estate. I've had people try and put in large apartment buildings. That's not going to work. In some cases, land will show up as well as manufactured homes. It really depends on how they're listed in the MLS, but it is not for commercial property.
Got it. The other one is you said that there's an option to opt the lender in. I know for an
Correct.
agent it's $25 a month. What is the fee for the lender to step into the platform, or how does that part work?
Sure. Well, remember, we started out with lenders. There's a ton of financing opportunity to built into the reports. They do pay more for HomeBot. A lender can start sending out HomeBot to their clients for $200 a month. That's substantially more than we pay. But we do know that there's a lot of financing opportunity in HomeBot, and people do typically refinance more than they buy or sell. In
Definitely.
addition to their $200 a month, they do pay a small RESPA compliant fee to be co-branded with the agents that they work with. And remember, an agent can only work with one loan officer. Loan officer can work with as many agents as they want, and it's a great way for them to not only help their agents gain those advanced features, but to become the co-branded lender for any financing questions that come up.
So, question, let's say I have a team of 5 agents or 50 agents.
Mhm.
Each agent has to be paying their $25 a month, and the lender can only pay the one-time fee to be part of the group.
So that lender, if they were co-branded with all, let's just say 5, 10, 50 agents, they would pay $200 for their account. And then for each agent, they're co-branded with an additional $10 a month to be co-branded with them. And I'll show you where they live in an agent's report. But most of your lenders right now are going to really want to help you with that. Remember, refis are almost non-existent right now. They are
Yeah,
surviving off a purchase business, and that comes from us. So
yeah.
in most cases, they're willing to pay it. I think the average loan officer is paying for their own account. and they may be co-branded with 2 or 3 agents. So that's a little bit of a different example. But I've had broker owners that pay for Homebot for an entire company, and they actually pick the lender for their agents if they're in a JV relationship as well.
Got it. Last question is, if somebody has Homebot already,
Mhm.
let's say I have a friend of mine that has Homebot with a different agent, but says, hey, can you or can I get information from you, or I want to get, you know what I mean? Is that something they
Yeah.
can change?
They can
And how would
actually get the home report from more than one agent. It's not common, but it happens. And you can look at this 2 ways. I look at it as a positive because the last thing I would want for one of my past clients that I have a deep personal relationship with, for them to walk into an open house and some other agent capture their information and start sending them HomeBot, and now I can't. So in a way, it's a benefit to us that it is possible for one client to get HomeBot from 2 different agents. Typically, the homeowner doesn't want 2 home reports. They're wanting to work with the agent they have the personal relationship with, and so they're going to unsubscribe from the person they don't know. But it is
got it.
possible for the very reason I just explained.
Perfect. That's it.
Awesome. So you're looking at an actual home report for me. And remember, on my website, you can actually sign up right here if you're curious what it looks like. But what's in this report really depends on whether you're working with a lender on HomeBot or if you're doing it on your own. With a lender, the first thing I love is that Find a Home turns on. This button doesn't exist until you have a lender. I love that every homeowner I've added to HomeBot can immediately start shopping for a new home. They can favorite listings and searches. They can go into a heat map of market conditions or drop directly into their buyer's report. There's actually 2 other places where a homeowner can become a buyer with you once you're co-branded with the lender, but just keep in mind this only appears when you're co-branded. The second thing is our downloadable app. We are actually almost launching our mobile app, which means in addition to your clients getting HomeBot by email, they can actually start downloading and using their app as long as you're co-branded with a lender on HomeBot. And they'll just see a little pop-up here that lets them know to get that app. And then another thing is those custom videos. I love using videos in HomeBot. I can't play my video for you. You won't be able to hear it. But if you sign up for HomeBot with me, you'll see I have a welcome video. And then I have videos sprinkled throughout every report depending on what my client is doing. Remember, you don't need special equipment to do video. You just need a co-branded lender. And then we've got the scripting, a workshop class. You can literally record them on your phone and upload them to YouTube for free. The actual content of the report is always going to start with your branding on the top. But keep in mind, your client may own multiple properties that you didn't know about. So what I love is you can keep adding more properties for them, and so can your client. Because maybe you didn't know about that investment property or the vacation home they have in another state. That way they can keep toggling between all the properties that they own inside the actual home report. Now, underneath your branding, of course, the first thing we'll deliver is a value. And this is typically the biggest question I get from most agents. Where is this value coming from? That's important to us, right? There are 2 ways that a value is created in HomeBot. The first one is you tell us what the home is worth. Recent sale price, appraisal, CMA, you typically know better than any AVM. If you do not set value in HomeBot, don't worry. You can edit value anytime you want, and so can your client. But in that case, we'll actually provide our AVM, which is tied directly to CoreLogic. Now, CoreLogic is very trusted in the AVM space for realtors. In fact, it's where we get our RPR reports from. But whether you set value or HomeBot does, this number doesn't stay fixed. It continues to grow. And the best part of all is not only can you edit value at any time, so can your client. They can actually tell you what they think their home is worth. And I don't know about you, my clients never think their house is worth less. They always think it's worth more. But when they do that, we'll actually confirm the size with them in case they recently added on. We let your client tell you about every improvement they've made. And that puts you and your client in the driver's seat. So when you get that notification that they increase their value, reach out. congratulate them on the kitchen remodel. And then I would ask them, with all the equity you're sitting on, are you thinking about making a move? That's a great conversation to have. Always offer to confirm that value through a CMA, and then know that Homebot is constantly educating your clients on why AVMs are not that predictable. Remember, it's a computer formula. Lots of things can make it inaccurate. The best part of Homebot is once you set value where your client does, the AVM goes away. And then it continues to grow from that new figure. Now, we do talk about market conditions. Again, this is very popular for homeowners right now. They have questions of what's going on in the market, and it is a great opportunity for another video. It also allows your client to dig into everything important to them, which includes appreciation, cash position, because in most cases, you're not going to provide the mortgage information, but we can calculate their balance. And then lastly, what's going on in their market. Best of all, there's about 22 spots where your client can click on a pink bubble and you will get a text and an email from your client. So as long as you pay attention to your texts and emails, you're going to know when they have questions. And of course, if you have a lender in Homebot, they can even view listings in the area using our search and start shopping for a new home with you. No, I'm not going to go through most of the rest of this content in here, but like I said, you can sign up for a free report from me. We will give them net worth of the home, which is just calculating their mortgage balance. Remember, all of those things can be edited by you and your client. Principal and interest, and how they can make extra principal payments and pay their home off early. Because whether they do this or not, they love the idea of saving time and money on their mortgage. We will show them refi rates, but remember, most of our clients are not refinancing right now. They have a much lower rate. If any of these rates made sense to your homeowner, they can click here. And if you have a lender, this is the only place your lender appears, just like my lender, Jay. I'm not sharing my database with Jay. He only shows up under financing. And the only time Jay sees the client is when my client asks a financing-driven question. In that case, the question goes back to both of us. I love that because I'm co-branded with Jay, I get these advanced features to create more listings and protect my buyers. But remember, I'm not sharing my database with them. He's only going to see those financing-driven sections. This section here is all about encouraging your existing homeowner to make a move. And you may not know this, but according to the NAR, more than 60% of the buyers for the last 10 years straight have actually been existing homeowners making a move. These are homeowners in your database that are downsizing, upsizing, and relocating. So what you're doing is giving your existing homeowner opportunity to hear from you, potentially even start looking at listings and begin searching for a new home with you. Now, even if you don't have a lender, they can still click in here. They're just not going to have any way to become a buyer with you. So you can still get those notifications. And then, of course, we'll give them cash out refi options. Remember, this is, yes, a cash out refi opportunity for a lender, but it's also more referrals for you. Because most of us agents actually work with financial planners, insurance agents, divorce attorneys. Heck, some of you might even be the only realtor in a local BNI group. Great, now you got referrals to them, right? We do show them short-term rental information, 1 mile radius of their home. Like everything in Homebot, it's very dynamic with a disclaimer that not all neighborhoods allow it. Honestly, sometimes it just turns into a conversation around long-term rentals with you and how that could help them buy their dream home. And then, of course, on the bottom, always encourage your clients to share with other people. They're going to do that anyway because Homebot isn't a sales pitch or cleaning out their gutters. It's about them. Well, why not encourage them to post on social media? Invite someone they know to get Homebot from you. Once that new person accepts the invitation, you'll have a new client to reach out to. And then on the bottom, your client can unsubscribe anytime they want. But with over 11 million homeowners getting Homebot from their agent, you have a less than 1% unsubscribe rate. Remember that homeowners become buyers all the time, so they can click on any of these options and start asking you questions about purchasing a new home. They can be in the most click-through section, market conditions. and start asking you questions about selling and buying a home. And then, of course, right at the top, when you're co-branded with your lender, they can immediately become a buyer with you at the top of their report as well. If you don't have a lender, it's going to look a little bit different, and I'll just show you real quick. So without a lender, again, you can send the home report out. They can add more property. It'll still have all your branding, but your homeowners won't be able to come buyers with you. They won't be able to look at listings with you, and you won't be able to drop in your own personal videos. So if you prefer to do HomeBot on your own and then maybe look at bringing in a lender in later, you can do that too. Any questions about the home report? I definitely want to cover the buyer's report next.
Just really quick, Erin, you said that you can do video, right?
Yep.
Um, are the videos that you're creating, are the way they're being utilized, is it straight to that person? Like, hey, Erin, this is Robert just checking in, blah, blah, blah. Or is it kind of in general, hey, the market's doing this, and then you send it to each person like a blanket
That's
type
a
thing?
great, yeah, that's a great question. So we actually have three way to do video, and the one that would be a personal video to one client requires a BombBomb subscription. Now there's other screen sharing software that you could use and screen share and go through one report with a client, but the only one we support within HomeBot is BombBomb. And since I have it connected, I could actually create a video right here to my client. That does require BombBomb, but the other two ways to do video, I'm just trying to get this to get out of here. It's not going to do that. Exit BombBomb. There we go. The other two ways that you can do video, like the welcome video, all the videos you see in your actual reports. If I have a client that's in here asking questions, those
Mhm.
are actually videos that will appear to every client who's in that situation. So if they're opening the report for the first time, they'll get the welcome video. If they click on the section for market conditions, that's where that video will live. And so you'll want to make those videos evergreen. You don't
Got
want
it.
to keep recording that many videos, right? The third way to video is actually comes with their home report. So it's an actual video in addition to what you see here for them to access their report. And that video is still going to go out to everybody in your database, but only one time. So what I like about that video is I can actually update my clients on what's going on in the market. I can talk about my new listing. I can talk about what my buyers are looking for right now, and I could even wish them a happy Halloween. So three ways to do video. One, if you're going to do it through HomeBot and create a personal video to one client requires BombBomb. The other two, you can literally use your phone camera, upload them into YouTube, and then they'll live inside every section of HomeBot for you.
Nice. Thank you.
Let's talk about buyers. Remember, homeowners become buyers all the time. And every time a homeowner becomes a buyer in HomeBot, you'll get notified by text and email. Just need a lender to make that happen. You'll also be able to add your first time buyers directly into this buyer's report you're looking at right now. Spanish or English, mobile friendly, and they can download and use the app as well. Underneath your branding, your client can actually pick a price point, calculate a payment, or get pre-approved, which is another video opportunity, right? They can look at any market in the United States. And that's one thing I love about HomeBot is we're nationwide. So if I got a client cashing out and moving to Arizona, great. I can set them up with markets to look at. They can also favorite markets in HomeBot. And then, of course, if they want to explore anywhere in the United States, they can do that too. I'm going to go ahead and put in here Las Vegas, Nevada. The first thing your buyer is going to see, whether they own a home yet or not, is a heat map of market conditions. So, what does this heat map and these numbers mean to a buyer that's looking in Las Vegas? Well, it doesn't mean that there's 90 listings in this zip code and 82 over here. What we're doing is providing a heat map of market conditions for your buyer that shows them where, when, and how to buy. The higher the number means more of a seller's market. So again, anything in orange, anything close to 100 means bidding wars, losing out, having to overbid on the home and potentially waiting even longer to find the right property. So if you had a buyer that's pre-approved at 648,000, maybe they want to avoid these really high numbers and focus on more affordable areas where they're more likely to win the bid. Maybe your buyer's looking for more square footage. They want a bigger home. Cheapest buy as an investor, first time home buyer looking for the most bang for their buck. And then lastly, how fast could they potentially move in? This is actually search time to the close of escrow, which honestly can be really important if their lease is up, they just relocated to that area, or maybe their current home is under contract to be sold. Your buyers are going to love this heat map of market conditions. Remember, 70% of the buyers that bought a home last year have remorse. They feel like they didn't have enough information when they pull the trigger. So, what you're really doing is helping your buyer navigate the market conditions, and you're going to be protecting them from the third party search sites because anytime they're looking at a market, they can favorite it. We can show them listings using our search, or if you prefer, you can use your search right there. This will allow your clients to look at homes anywhere in the United States when you use our search. And yes, it is branded to Homebot's colors, but will always position you as the person to show the home. So if you prefer to use our nationwide listing search, just know we'll have 97% of all listings built into our search by the end of this year. That's exactly what Zillow's is. So this may be one of the best ways to protect your buyers as well as your existing homeowners that start shopping for a new home and show them listings anywhere in the United States. Again, they can go into a map search. They can filter by bedrooms, bathrooms, single family, attached. But if you prefer to use your own search instead, that's okay because we can link your IDX search right here. We didn't buy search to sell you anything extra. We bought search to protect your buyers and be able to embed listings in the actual home report as well. So just know once they favorite a new market or you add a new market, they can keep going back to it. Your buyer can ask you questions, and those will also come to you as a text and an email. They can tell you how soon they want to move, which is a great way to forecast future business, right? And we'll even show them a rate chart that shows how their purchasing power changes when rates go up or down. We'll even let your first time buyers put any address they want in here to get the same short-term rental information we provide to your homeowners. Biggest group of buyers forecasted for 23 and 24 are millennials. I am not a millennial. I would probably not rent my house out on Airbnb if I live in it. But hey, they will. They love the information and they've got that same disclaimer. Just like your homeowners, they can share HomeBot or unsubscribe anytime they want. And remember, the buyers feature opens up for you once you have a lender on HomeBot, but it's not just for your first time buyers. Your homeowners are going to consistently turn into buyers with you every month, and they'll be able to toggle back and forth between the two reports that they're getting. Now I'm going to go back into the deck and talk about some really great ways to leverage HomeBot for more listings right now. But any questions before I do that?
Any questions, guys? You can type them in the chat if you want to ask anything. If not, let's keep moving.
I promise there'll be time at the end as well if anybody wants to unmute themselves. Keep in mind there are a lot of ways to generate leads using HomeBot. And this statistic here is one that a lot of us aren't even aware of. More than 60% of the buyers for the last 10 years have actually been existing homeowners making a move. They're downsizing, they're upsizing, they're relocating sometimes to other states. Therefore, within your home reports, allowing your homeowner to dig in and look at their appreciation, calculating their mortgage balance so they know net proceeds and how in demand their market is a huge opportunity for you to engage your existing homeowner and convert them into a seller with you. Remember, they can automatically click in here and click on any of these pink bubbles and ask you questions, and you can see them do that. But once you're co-branded with a lender, they can actually convert into a buyer with you. You can farm with HomeBot. The only possible good thing I could think about COVID at this point is we all finally figured out how to use a QR code, right? So again, your postcard doesn't have to look like mine. There is a templated version of this on the bottom of my website. Farm your own neighborhood. You have a vested interest in it since you live there, and you probably know your neighbors. Farm a neighborhood based on turnover. The postcard simply compels them to scan the code and sign up for HomeBot with you so that you can start nurturing them since they've opted in. There is an entire back end of Homebot where you can manage your account. And I'm going to show you what this looks like live. But keep in mind, the back end of Homebot is just a great way to not only track your open and engagement rate, but my favorite way to use this is to watch what my clients are doing on Homebot. Because why would I wait to check in with a client when they're looking at their home's market? Or they create their own buyer's report, or they're even creating selling signals and looking at listings with me. My recommendation is once you've created your account, bookmark the site. You're going to spend a lot of time here watching what your clients are doing. And then if you want to reach out to a client, great. Click on their name. You can preview their report so you know exactly what that client has got from you recently. Manage their account. So if you want to edit value or any of the other information in Homebot, great. Just click on manage. You can edit value right here and create a new range. You can edit the bedrooms and bathrooms. You can even add the co-borrower so they also get Homebot from you to their own email address. And then of course you'll be able to see everything your client is doing on Homebot. So you can have an intelligent conversation. Another great place to go is manage because now you can see every homeowner and buyer that you've added to Homebot, and you can search for any client by name or property address. You can sort your clients high to low value and high to low equity and start using Homebot for proactive outreach. Call your clients quarterly, do annual homeowner reviews, check in with them. Adding clients to Homebot is easy, and I highly recommend that you make yourself your first client. Just add yourself here. First and last name and email, Spanish or English for the language. You can always change language later as well. Street address of the property, and then if you want to add any additional information, you can. Once you're co-branded with a lender, you can start adding those buyers as well. We typically, as realtors, only add clients one at a time when hot new prospects are coming in. Most of us add in bulk. And it's really easy to do that. You can create an Excel spreadsheet. We have help articles on all of the popular CRMs that agents use, and simply drag and drop your spreadsheet right here. We always scrub for duplicates. So if you attempt to add the same property and address twice, we'll scrub for that. And remember, the only people Homebot doesn't want are the people that haven't opted in yet. In that case, I'll show you how to get them to opt in. Keep in mind, most of your time is spent under clients, and a client for us is not necessarily somebody you closed on a home with. It's any homeowner or buyer that you add to Homebot. Co-sponsor is where you can actually find a lender that's already on Homebot that's interested in sponsoring you. Again, we'll pull in local lenders near you just so you can see what they're about. Or if you are co-branded with a lender, this is where they appear. But you can break up with your lender anytime you want. Remember, Homebot's month to month, no contract. All of your share features are going to be here, and there's a ton of different ways that you can share Homebot. But if you choose to do it on your own, you'll still have the homeowner one that you can QR code farming postcards. You can use it at open houses. You can post on LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, and we even have pre-built Facebook posts for you. So you can post on Facebook. Plus, there's a widget for your website that will easily allow anybody interested in signing up for Homebot with you to sign up. Good news is, anytime someone signs up for Homebot with you, you'll immediately get notified. We automatically create a home report for the homeowners, buyer's report for the buyers, and you can even track where your leads are coming from. The other two landing pages come when you're co-branded with a lender. You've got the buyer's landing page that only requires a name and an email, and you have the one for our search that I was showing you right here that allows your client to search for a home. There are a ton of ways that you can use these to capture new business. But remember, you don't want to start here. Most seasoned successful agents will tell you that almost all of their business comes from repeat clients and referrals. And I want that for you too. But if you're a newer agent, don't lose hope because you can use this at your open houses. You can drop in those internet leads once they've opted in with you, pay-per-click leads, as well as farming and other creative ways to capture new business. Customizes where all your advanced features are going to live. Most of these only get turned on once you have a co-branded lender in Homebot. Keep in mind, we have a lot of training on this as well, but only turn on instant offer if you want to. I have it turned on because I want to talk to my clients before I lose the listing to an iBuyer site. Remember, you can drop in a video, and it doesn't mean you're going to pay cash for their home. It means you're going to talk to your clients before you lose the listing. You can tie Homebot once you have a lender to either your IDX listing search or you can use ours. You can link us to BombBomb to make it even easier to do videos. Or you don't have to do that. You can start using video email with your lender and once a month update your clients on what's going on in the market, your new listing, and what your buyers are looking for right now. This is one video that can go out with the updated report as often as once a week, or simply when they're ready to get that update from you. And then, of course, the second way to do videos are the ones that live in every section of Homebot. These you'll make over evergreen. You don't want to keep recording this many videos, but all of these videos depend on what the client is doing. If you have a lender, I challenge you to at least create a welcome video to your clients so that every time they open their first report, they get a video from you. Now, if you're worried about learning how to use all this, remember we have live training classes and then we also have help built into your account. You can ask us a question and we'll answer it. We have an entire support team back in Denver that answers questions. You can also search our help articles. So if there's something you're looking for, like creating a QR coded postcard, great. We got all the training you need on how to do that and how to create the QR code. They're free on the internet, right? You're not going to run out of support on Homebot. You even have help up here in our help center. And of course, on my website, tons of ongoing training and resources available to you. I guarantee you we're not going to be the product you pay for and don't know how to use. Now, we're all looking for ways to create business in this market. We're not in a set it and forget it market. We need to go get the business. So by tracking activity and sorting your clients' high to low equity, you got a reason to reach out to them. And we've all been coached to do that at least quarterly. Do annual homeowner reviews. Start forecasting your listings and buyers based on their move date. And then start capturing new business using Homebot. You will also get an activity email once a week on Mondays. I recommend you prospect with Homebot. We're going to identify your hot homeowners, your hot buyers, and my favorite section, potential sellers, simply based on how long they've been in the home and what are they doing on Homebot. So click on their name, view their report, and reach out. It's not creepy to reach out. It's good service to check in with everybody. And I don't know if you're looking for scripts or not, but I typically get asked, hey, what do I say when I reach out? This is a great, intelligent conversation to have. They may not be interested in doing anything right now. They may tell you they want to list their home next year. Or you might have called it just the right time based on what they're doing in Homebot. The landing pages are great. Like I said, there are a ton of different ways to use this, but please start with your past clients, your sphere of influence, and your already opted in prospects first. Remember, more than 60% of the buyers for the last 10 years straight have actually been existing homeowners making a move. Farming is a great strategy to pick up new business in Homebot. And then coming soon this fall, access to our mobile app. You saw this advertised in my report right at the top. The only way this shows up, the mobile app, is when you're co-branded with a lender. But I do love that this is a great way to meet our millennial buyers where they're at. That will be the biggest group of buyers, as well as your Gen X homeowners, which will be the largest group of sellers forecasted for the next 2 to 3 years. We talked about the biggest issues in the beginning. Hopefully by now you see how Homebot can be a really amazing solution for you. Number one, with inventory, we have 11 million homeowners getting Homebot from their agent right now. We are consistently converting those homeowners into selling and buying again. Competition. Homebot is a once a month financial report that is dynamic. It's coming from you. And it is absolutely going to protect your clients from those third-party search sites and the big boys. Engagement. Instead of getting a 21% open rate, get an over 70% open rate into the email and an over 50% engagement into the report. And then lastly, we are not going to be that tech tool you pay for and can't figure out how to use. We have tons of ongoing support, live training classes, and integrations to make Homebot really easy for you. Again, back to the pricing, you can do Homebot on your own, $25 a month, $50 setup fee. Once a month, your clients will get one personal financial report, updated report from you in Spanish or English. Or do it with a lender and get all of our advanced features on HomeBot, which includes find a home, embedded listings, access to our mobile app, and all of the custom videos that you're able to use inside HomeBot as well. I have time for questions. If you are a broker owner, we do have pricing for broker owners. We also have admin access for broker owners, which helps them leverage the accounts, add new agents, move clients around. The easiest way to get started is either on my website or you can simply go to homebot.ai. We do have time for a few questions here at the end, but if you go to homebot.ai, just sign up here as a real estate agent. Or if you're on my website, which I've lost, here we go, you can just create your account right there.
I have
And
a
that's all I
question,
have for
Erin.
today. Yep.
This is amazing information. We're using it as a for the agent part, right? I don't have a co-branded lender or anything yet, so mind blowing to see all these other tools. My question was the annual review. Is that
Mhm.
something you have to go in manually and do something with? Because I hear you saying that, but how complicated, what does it take to do an annual review?
So there's other screen sharing apps out there, but when you're in your account, so let's just say I'm in here managing my account and I want to sort my clients high to low equity. I want to see who's got the most equity in HomeBot before I actually start doing proactive reach out. You can record a one-on-one video to that client with their annual homeowner review. Once you pull up the client right here, you're just going to go ahead and pull up their home report, preview the report, and then because I use BombBomb, that's what I use to screen share. And I just talk to my clients through HomeBot. So I'm basically saying like, hey, here's the estimated value of your home. Here's your equity. Here's your principal and interest. Here's all the things that you could do with that equity to buy another property. And I just look at it as a really great way to touch that client using BombBomb to do the annual homeowner review. I've had other people actually sit with their client face to face, and in some cases, it's worth doing that as well, right? So it really depends on how you want to set it up. I also love using HomeBot just to do a quarterly check-in call with all my clients. But those annual homeowner reviews, the way I would do it, what I would record a video with a report, or I would schedule an opportunity for them to sit down with me directly. Some other agents actually just create a video and say, hey, if you'd like to sit down with me in person, use my scheduling link. And that would be another way to do it.
Nice. Couple of things that I just wanted to mention with this program, guys. I've met people and I've asked them, right? Sometimes you just have to be a little bit direct. So I asked, do you own or rent? And when somebody rents, of course, you have to go through the process. You know, this is how you buy a house. And as agents, we're kind of, it's easier to have that conversation of, you know, let me help you purchase a home, get qualified. There's the 2, 3 steps, and you know, we'll go look for a house. That's the easy conversation to have with almost anybody. Now, if somebody says, "Oh yeah, I already own a home," what do you do then? Oh, okay. How can I, you know, how can you step into that person's life and give them something of value other than, right? So now you have a tool when you run into somebody who says, "Oh, I already own a home." Okay, well, I have a tool that's going to give you a monthly email report that's going to give you so much information. This is information that you need, you know, like we were talking about the interest rate, how it's changing, what your options are to save money, track your wealth, track the value. And now when I'm talking to people out there that own a home, they're like, oh yeah, I like that. And people are welcoming that information because you're not calling them on a regular, you're not sending them junk to say, hey, I can help you buy or sell a home. You're giving them something of value. Um, Another thing, Erin, if I send it to my client's using the application, the program, they can also share with other people, right?
Absolutely.
and now they become part of your database.
And the way I
So
look at that is, there's a lot of things we send out to our clients and we all love referrals. I mean, we all have like different words we use for it. But the beauty of HomeBot is that it's not a sales pitch. It's also not cleaning out their gutters. So they automatically want to share it with other people. You can run a referral reward contest when they rave about HomeBot. You can have that conversation. Hey, I'm curious if there's anyone that would want to get a report like this. But in general, they share it with people they know because it isn't salesy. It really has that soft educational touch, so they don't feel like, they're sharing their friends, family, neighbors, personal information with somebody that's just gonna, hit them up for a sale.
yeah, I love this program. Guys, any other questions? I know we already hit the hour, and I know we all got stuff to do, but if there's any questions, this is the time to unmute and ask them. And if not, so we can get going with our day. I know we all have stuff to do. Erin, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're a very busy person, and this is some amazing information. If you guys have any questions, her info is in the chat box, or if you need to get a hold of her and you can't, let me know, and we'll get you connected. But this is, hands down, it's the best investment for $25. You can reach out to 500 people, and another $10 get another 500. I mean, it's a no-brainer. You guys need to get this program, hands down. Erin, thank you so much. I
Thank
hope to
you.
meet you again in person sometime, but it's been
Yeah.
amazing.
All right. Take care. Bye, everyone.
All right, guys, let's get to work, get some listings. See you guys.